After a whirlwind week filled with breaking news and updates, the Monsterenergy AMA Supercross Championship returns to Angel Stadium for the second and final time this season. Round 3 marks an important checkpoint in the 17-round championship, and the anticipation is palpable. In the 450SX class, Eli Tomac arrives with the red plate on his Yamaha YZ450F for the first time since the 2023 Denver Supercross, a night that ended in disappointment for the reigning champion. Fortunately, the 450SX class has managed to remain mostly free of injuries among its top contenders, which sets the stage for another highly competitive evening of racing. First practices. The day began with free practice sessions that gave riders the opportunity to test their setups and find the fastest lines. In the 250SX class, it was Jordan Smith who set the early pace, but Cole Davies soon took over the top spot. However, as the session progressed, Hayden Deegan showed his intent by clocking the fastest time, with Smith and Michael Mosiman hot on his heels. Smith wasn't done yet and fired back with a late session lap that reclaimed the top spot, setting the tone for an exciting day in the 250 class. In the 450SX free practice, it was Eli Tomac, Jet Lawrence, and Jason Anderson who initially occupied the top 3 positions. Jet Lawrence quickly made headlines when he pulled off a quad in a rhythm section that riders had been experimenting with during press day. This bold move propelled Lawrence to the top of the leaderboard, edging out Tomac, while Malcolm Stewart also displayed promising speed in the session. Combined qualifying sessions. 450SX class. As the intensity ramped up in the combined qualifying sessions, it was Chase Sexton who nailed the hole shot in the second session, taking the early lead. Eli Tomac, however, wasn't content to sit behind and quickly found his rhythm, posting a time that narrowly eclipsed Jet Lawrence's earlier effort. Sexton, despite being bumped to third, remained within striking distance, keeping the battle for the fastest qualifier wide open. In the closing minutes, as is becoming a trademark for him, Jet Lawrence delivered when it mattered most. The young Australian laid down a blistering lap to steal the top spot from Tomac, solidifying himself as the fastest qualifier heading into the evening program. The trio of Lawrence, Tomac, and Sexton has been incredibly close in speed throughout the season, making every qualifying session a nail-biter. With Tomac riding the momentum of his win last weekend, he will be aiming to keep his streak alive, though Sexton and Lawrence are equally hungry to take control of the championship narrative. 250SX class. In the 250SX class, Cody Schock led the pack through the first lap of qualifying, but it didn't take long for Hayden Deegan to assert his dominance. Deegan wasted no time attacking the track, executing technical lines like tripling in and quadding out, and became the first rider in the session to clock a sub-1-minute lap time. Jordan Smith was close behind, demonstrating his comfort and speed through the whoops. Joe Shimoda's return to action after breaking his fingers last weekend was commendable, but he faced a tough challenge navigating 2 sets of whoops, which proved to be a significant obstacle. Meanwhile, Julian Boehmer began to hit his stride late in the session, dropping his lap time under a minute and coming within a few tenths of Deegan's time. Deegan initially appeared to have a session in hand, but as the clock ticked down, Boehmer put in a flying lap that snatched the top spot. Star Racing Yamaha riders dominated the leaderboard, with Smith also consistently in the mix. In the final moments, Deegan attempted a hot lap to reclaim pole, but made a mistake, pushing his front end out of a turn just before the finish. His lap time was disqualified, leaving Julian Boehmer as the top qualifier, with Jordan Smith in second and Deegan rounding out the top 3. Despite a late effort to reclaim the lead, Deegan went off track during his last lap, solidifying Boehmer's pole position.